Hey now, welcome to the RaceGrooves Weekend Show. I hope you had a fantastic week. Mine was okay. Spent a lot of time cleaning up the warehouse. I'm trying to get organized. I got things planned. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Also wound up in at the doctor, allergies and stuff, and it was just I was having chest issues with congestion, for a couple weeks now. It got to be just too much. Had to go in. They wanted to give me a steroid shot to help give me a little boost. Next thing you know, I'm nearly passing out. Yeah, it was not good. When they put in the steroid, what happens is, the fluids go into your bloodstream. Well, it puts so much pressure on my shoulder that I was in so much pain I nearly passed out. Now, I've shattered my pinky, right? So I've had broken bones, broken toes. I had my gallbladder taken out. I had a hernia operation. Those are okay. As a matter of fact, when I busted my finger, it was like the next day. I didn't do nothing about it, but my finger, I can move it. But when I was moving it, I was hearing little crackling noises. I thought I better go to the doctor. It didn't even hurt, really. The operations I had, you get the muscles are sore, but then you get better. Well, when I went in for this appointment, so much pain, I nearly passed out. It was. Next thing you know, one nurse, 2, 3, 4 nurses, the doctor, and then the top doctor comes in. They said I was lost on my color. Not that I have a whole lot of color to lose, but they said I lost my color. It was a bit scary, but thankfully I am still here. But I did do a couple of videos during the week. Truckin Tuesday, got to do Truckin Tuesday. I featured the Hot Wheels Track Stars truck. Now, it's called Track Stars internationally now, but it uses the cab from the Hot Wheels model, custom Convoy. I told you I was cleaning up the warehouse. Well, I was looking for stuff, but I was also getting all of my Truckin Tuesday stuff in these 3 stacks of tubs. Yeah, I got a lot of trucks that I can talk about. And speaking of tracking trucks, Convoy Crash, this was sold in the USA. I'm going to have to review this now that we're doing Truckin Tuesday. And look, it had that bone shaker tracking truck as well. In the comments of that Truckin Tuesday video, Brownie Boss Hoss asked, could you do a downhill racing with 1,900 cars, please? 1,900? Way too many. It'd take me forever. Isaac Johansson, rubber tires does give things more traction, but that's just a negative thing in this case, as the vehicles are without any motors. Therefore, the tires just provide more resistance. Very true. I misspoke in the video a little bit. I took the Trackin trucks, gave them a little downhill race, and I also did that with the Convoy custom Convoys. I get it. I say it wrong every time. And yeah, rubber tires are okay if you got a motor driving those rubber tires so they can, turn and give you friction to go. But if you're doing downhill racing, rubber tires are slow. They slow you down. They stick to they're soft. They stick to the surface. Thank you very much, Isaac. You are correct. Now, Wolf Gamer, Minecraft Gamer, RaceGrooves, as Tidwell is stealing your videos. I appreciate you telling me. And you know what? I've had 3 or 4 channels shut down in the last 2 weeks, right? And it's very time consuming for me to file copyright charges. Have to file on one. Then thank you for letting me know they're gone. Please do not copy my video and upload them to your channels. Thank you very much. For Friday, I did a case unboxing video, 2017K Worldwide Assortment, and there's a new Hot Wheels model, and HW Mustang. How does Mattel even trademark an actual word, Crescendo? It's used in the music world. Well, the same way that Ford does with their Mustang, right? The deal is Hot Wheels doesn't trademark the word Crescendo for everything. When they apply for their trademark, it has to be towards a specific thing. And in this case, they would be trademarking toy cars. Crescendo for a toy car. And apparently they were trademarked, got granted the trademark. And it's just like Ford Mustang, right? If somebody else comes out with a real car and they call it Mustang, Ford's going to be giving them a call. Nope, you can't do that because, they got to protect their brands. Hero 6405. Mark, can you take a look at Crescendo in the weekend show? By the way, Crescendo is low to the ground to his front bumper, so he does not go through the loops. Bet he can adjust the splitter to raise up so he can go through the loops. Let's check that out. Oops, he got away. Found him. Now, I got a loop right here. Nice shiny chrome. Sure enough, look, it has a line. Looks like it moves. Ah, there you go. So you can adjust the splitter. Let's see if you really need to, though. It makes it look like a mouth, doesn't it? Yeah. So now I have it down. It looks like it still moves. I'm not sure if it's dragging, though. Let's go ahead and pop it up. Now we have it in loop position. Yeah, it still rolls. Look how it keeps swinging back and forth. Now we'll drop the splitter. Nope. You can hear it dragging and it gets stuck. There you go. Thanks for asking. A big box showed up at the studio this week. Sorry, we're going to have to wait. In the meantime, let's check out some pegs. don't have a sample of this trailer yet. I'll take this too. People have been asking me how did I attach my finish line to my gravity platform, so let me go ahead and show you how I did it. I got this carpet runner at Home Depot. You get a peek at what's underneath. I built my platforms out of wood, but where they butt together, sometimes there's a little bump, so I use cardboard sheets to level out the transitions. I designed this area to be a 1/64 scale quarter-mile drag race, so that means I need at least 20.6 feet. You actually need a few more feet after that because you need runoff. You can't have the cars just immediately crash into a wall. Well, you could if you wanted to. This part's a little slow, but you have to be careful because you really have to think it through. I want to make sure I do it right the first time. You know how it is. Measure twice, cut once. Well, that's what you got to do. So right now I'm being very careful and double checking everything. I want the finish line to be centered in between both sidelines, and I want it to be a quarter scale mile from the starting gate. I'm using 3-inch brackets made out of zinc. I'll talk about the screws or bolts later on, but as you can see, they're inset. They have like a triangle head. I will need to pre-drill a hole in the wood for the bolt to slide through. I'm trying to find out which drill is close enough so that I could get it snug and not have it be sloppy. It's a good idea to use a scrap piece of wood to test the hole size. That feels perfect for gripping the wood and not splitting it. But in looking at the bolt, I think this one might be a little bit short. If you can get a hold of a square, that would be very helpful. This way I can keep it square with the edges of the track. Because the finish line has to be straight across. You can't have like the left side closer to the start gate than the right side. That doesn't make for fair races. It's a little tricky because the sides of the finish line are not exactly flat, so just do the best you can. Pickles. Nah, it's just my jar of spare nuts and bolts and screws and stuff. You know, you got one too at home. These are expensive. These are aluminum, but I'm not going to use them for anything else, so I might as well just use them up. Let's do a little test assembly to see how it would look. Now, of course, the screw's going to go down through the wood. The washer is used to give a nice flat surface for the nut that's going to be underneath the track. Even though this regular nut will do the job, I'm thinking I might want to use butterfly nuts or wing nuts. Well, they have different names. I don't screw this one in all the way first because I want to make sure that the second one gets lined up with the hole. Now I'll go back and tighten up the first one. You don't want to make it too tight because you don't want to strip the wood. Even though the finish line is firmly in place, I still want to reinforce it from underneath. After bending over and trying to attach the nut, I realized I do want longer bolts. Might as well get some more drill bits. And I'm going to get those wing nuts. I'm not worried about attaching the brackets to the legs. It looks like all of the electronic components are in the crossbar, because when I shine a light through the legs, you can see right through it. It lights up and I don't see the silhouette of any components inside the legs. That being said, please use tools and safety equipment, and you're on your own. But that being said, if you notice one of my brackets are a little crooked, doesn't matter. As long as it holds the finish line straight across, that's good for me. Here's another look at how I use the cardboard to make a bridge across my different platforms, thus leveling out my racing surface. I could put shims underneath the legs as well. This is just an easier way to do it. And I like having multiple platforms, so this way I can put them anywhere. I already cut some holes for the brackets in the cardboard, but I need to do the same for the carpet. And this is much more important because I want it to look real nice. If you notice, the finish line actually sits on top of the Super 6-lane track. Let me use some connectors to see how my distance is between the track and the triggers. It looks like the gap is about 4 connectors wide before it hits the trigger. Now let me test it out with my setup. Get a regular piece of Hot Wheels track and the 4 connectors. It looks like the carpet's kind of pushing up a little bit, but it's pretty similar to how it is normally set up with the Hot Wheels Super 6-lane. I'm quite satisfied with this result. One thing that I forgot to take into consideration is how the carpet and cardboard will affect where the holes line up when I go to drill holes for the side legs. Oh well, let's see how it works. Another thing that I found out, these side pegs are in the way of the bracket. I'm just going to cut them off. I used a bandsaw, but I'm sure you could use a pipe cutter as well. There's a seam on the side, so I'm trying to avoid that. I'm not sure how long of a machine screw I want to go through the leg, so I have several different lengths to try out. I already pre-drilled that hole, but now I want to use one of the screws to tap the threads of the screw. Of course, you'll want to do this for each hole. Since I pre-threaded the holes, it makes this part much easier. That square is going to come in handy again. If you don't have one, you can eyeball it, or maybe even use a book or something that's absolutely square. I mark my spots, but to pre-drill the holes, I'm going to remove it from the bracket. With the other side of the finish line being close to the wall, I'm going to have to get a little bit creative. Of course, I could have moved the whole thing away from the wall, but I'm a little bit lazy. Sometimes it's a good idea to finish it by hand. This way you don't accidentally strip out the threads with the power tool. Well, here's my first test. That's the Hot Wheels model, Suzuki GSX-R. Now let me talk about the start gate. At first, a man that gave me this piece of yarn, but I noticed when I pulled it straight down, it pulled on the track. So instead, I'm using fishing line, and I have it going straight back. This way it doesn't pull down on the track. Otherwise, the cars get bouncy. You'll get vibration using both methods, but I found the one pulling it straight back has a lot less bounce. I just have the fishing line going down underneath my gravity platforms. You can see an eye hook. This way I keep the fishing line in place. Here's a closer look if you want to find them in a hardware store. The reason for me attaching a fishing line is because I want to do the start gate remotely. So I just have the fishing line wrapped around this piece of wood. I did put notches in it to help keep it in a groove. And you see, I can stand way over here, stand out of the way of the other cameras. You can tell where my eye hook is underneath the gravity table right there. Just give it a little pull. There you go. Get her done. While I do have my finish line attached here, I'm not calling this my Super 6-lane racetrack. This is my gravity platform. I can use it for lots of things. What you think about that? I hope you enjoyed checking out how I built my gravity platform. Well, not the platform. I showed that a long time ago. How I attached the finish line and what I'm doing with the start gate and what I'm going to do with the whole thing. Yeah, it's going to be a gravity platform so I can have different types of gravity track sets. Yeah, you know what, if I have a skinny booster set, I can use it for that too. You never know. It just gives me more room to film. Now, if you didn't enjoy that, I hope you figured out how to fast forward through the video, okay? I can't help you with that. That part you're going to have to take care of. One of the comments from the week was from Edster3. Hello, Mr. Grooves. I have been going through a bunch of your older videos. One part in NCTC08, time capsule, limited editions, Japanese cards, MLB promos. Anyway, you brought up cars being produced in the factories are being reproduced without consent. Well, on a second-hand market online, there were cars for sale loose from the same area where they are made. These were Super T-Hunts. I didn't notice this until bidding ended. I'm wondering now if these are legit cars. I don't like bootlegs. The bids were high. Any info on this would be helpful. I'm not buying them, just wondering if these are legit. Since I'm here in the USA, I can't say for sure what's going on in these other countries, right? We can only speculate. Now, some people say, hey, it's the lunchbox crew because they take a few extra cars, put them in the lunchbox, take them home. But, you know, we don't know. We're here. How do we know that management over there in the factories is allowing people to take cars home? I don't know. Yeah, I know these things are showing up at swap meets all over the place, right? In countries, in the area around where the factories are. So I can't tell you for sure what's going on. Me personally, I do avoid buying stuff that looks like it could be of dubious origin. That being said, I do want to talk about something else along the same lines. I acquired these pieces from overseas. They sure look like popular packaging in the USA. I don't know if these are knockoffs. I don't know if they're being sold under a budget brand in other countries. You know, I don't know. I'm here in the USA. All I know is I acquired them just to show you this video. By the way, they do have information on the back. They have printing. Some of them have barcodes. And look, licensed castings. There's the Batman car. I don't know about the wheels, but you got the super speed car. And this one here, okay, they made their own name. But when you look at the casting itself, that sure looks like a model that's been designed by the #1 toy car company in the world. Now, even though I acquired those to show you in this video, right, I try to avoid that stuff in my collection, okay? I really do. For one, it's respect for the company. I know it's their stuff, right? Well, it seems to be their stuff. So, you know, I try to avoid that. I just don't want that stuff. Hey, just like I talked about earlier in the video, right, in this video, I talked about people stealing my videos and re-uploading them on YouTube. That's not cool either. So I acquired those pieces just to show in this video. And for the most part, I avoid talking about stolen stuff on my channel, right? For one, I just don't want the topic on my channel. It causes drama, and I don't necessarily want it. The other, it's a matter of respect, right? Now, mini models, I missed a week for the weekend show. And mini models, it's always best just to let go versus forcing yourself to do a so-so video. Nice looking V across. Yeah, you know, I just decided I'm going to skip. I couldn't do it. I was traveling, family. Let it go. I'm going to miss a week. I'd rather put up a quality presentation, right, than just to put something up. Okay, thanks. Josh Evers, the most impressive thing about how you managed to get them all out of the package without any difficulty. Yeah, so there was some comments on my track time videos. I would figure I would share them with you. I'm a professional unboxer. I know how to open them up really fast. The King, the Game King 247. How do you afford so many tracks? I work so I can afford this stuff, right? And I started over 10 years ago, right? Growing my channel, doing some things, and I had focus. So it's not like I bought stuff just to try to make something work. No, I had a focused effort on what I wanted to do for the channel. Now, what I do for myself personally, right? Even yourself, right? You decide how you want to spend your money. And if you want to buy a $60 video game, then spend your money on a $60 video game. But don't sit there and say, well, I want the video game and then I want that. You got to decide, right, what you're going to do with your money. Me, what I do with my money, I collect toy cars and track sets, play sets, that kind of stuff. Dragon Claw 1865 vlogs and more. I watched this video as soon as it came out, and 3 years later, it is still my favorite. I love it. Yeah, that was a fun video to do. I had like a head-to-head downhill race, and then the cars came around and they smashed underneath the start gate. There was a couple things I had to work out, but I would like to revisit that format. By the way, these that I mentioned, these track time videos, they're in my track time playlist, and if I remember, I'll put the links down below. You can recognize the image if you're looking for the one that they're talking about. And one of them, this guy, the Golden Achievers, commented first. Well, guess what? Deleted. I delete first comments because he posts on a track time video that's a year old, and he's going to say he's first, or he or she. I don't know. So just so you guys know, I delete first comments. They just cause trouble, and as far as I'm concerned, a lot of them were just troll comments, like that one a year later. I don't need the drama. Javi, Mr. Cowboys for life. Great video, bro. I have started putting my Hot Wheels on the computer also. It will be better organized. Thanks for the tip. I've been doing inventory because I need to know which cars I have. If it's like basic $1 cars, it doesn't matter if I have extras. But some of these cars are expensive, and I need to know if I bought it already. So now I'm using Excel, and I use online, and this way if I find something, I check my list, whether I got it or not. Some things I need multiples because I got some videos projects coming up. Can't talk about them yet. So some things I do need multiples. Not that many multiples, but if I need, let's just say 3 of something, I need to know if I have 3 already. That's not the number I'm looking for, but I got to know if I have 3 or not. On that topic, right? Disney cars, Disney Pixar cars. Here's Leo Kim video. You probably know him. He's been on YouTube forever, right? It's weird. He posted on my weekend show. It's weird. On the Cars 3 stock, you see it's totally different to what's in where he lives. Sorry, I'm stumbling. There is a weird remold to McQueen that many people miss. He's now very different wheelbase and width. Yes, it's very confusing how that have changed the names of the cars that are re-releases because there are so many characters. I could not remember who I had and who's new. In the toy company wins. I can't believe how cheap the toys are in the USA. Yeah, look, we got a huge market, so manufacturers can afford scale, meaning they can ship a lot of stuff, and when they ship a lot, it costs less to ship per piece. So, yeah, our prices are pretty good in USA compared to where he is over there in Australia. I almost said New Zealand. Australia. And he was also talking about them changing the names, the Disney Pixar cars. We used to call them by the sponsor. Now we call them by the name of the driver or something. I can't keep track. So I see a car, especially with Cars 3 being released, and it's like, did I have that car before? I don't know. It's so confusing. And that's another reason why I'm doing a database, just because I need to know which one I bought and which one I didn't get yet. And DiggerFan549, he posted a comment, or somebody else posted a comment and asking about mail-ins. And I stopped mentioning mail-ins on my channel, and I'm not even going to say who the company was for the mail-in, because next thing you know, people, it's up to that company to make sure you know what the information is for the mail-in. Sometimes I think people got lazy and said, well, I won't keep track. I'll just ask Mark. It's not my company. It's not my mail-in. No, ask them. Don't ask me. So look, over probably 2 years ago now, right? I stopped anything. I stopped mentioning mail-ins, all that stuff. I even with the conventions, I rarely ever mention the convention. I'd give a heads up. But what would happen? I get these questions. Hey, what about the convention? What about this? What about that? Ask the people at the convention. So sorry, DiggerFan549. I don't discuss anything to do with mail-ins. Please contact those companies, okay? Raptor Unit. Love watching the channel from England. I've only just started buying, collecting Hot Wheels, but it seems so far away from anything from being an actual collection. Do you have any advice for startups like myself? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? By the way, great show and overall great channel. Thank you very much. You know what? Take it easy. There's no hurry, right? Your collection is what your collection is. If it's 10 cars, it's 10 cars, right? Don't be in a hurry. Look, when I started back in 1998, I thought I got to have them all, right? And acquired a book, started checking off the numbers in the book, and next thing I know, there's tens of thousands of cars and releases over the years. Find a focus. But most definitely, when I say find a focus, maybe you like fantasy cars, maybe you like real cars, maybe you like Fords, maybe you, did you say you were from the UK? I forget. For some reason, I thought you were across the pond. Yes, watching from England. you know, maybe you like that. So have a focus. This way you enjoy your collection. Okay, first off, buy what you like, buy what you can afford, and enjoy the hobby, right? But make sure you're taking care of your responsibilities. There's no hurry to own everything, okay? Because let me tell you, even just Hot Wheels, they say there's 365 cars this year, right? Well, that's just the numbered ones, right? There's store exclusive colors. Now there's these non-numbered alternate colors and super treasure. And then you got multi-packs, right? You have multi-packs there is hundreds of cars every year. Don't be in a hurry. Enjoy your collection. Buy what you like, buy what you can afford, and enjoy the hobby. And not only that, maybe you collect for a little while, maybe you collect for a year, take a break for a year, and then you find your stuff, and then you look, why did I buy that? I don't like that. Buy what you like. This way, you say, why did I buy that? Well, I liked it, right? Tarp 04, the Truckin RaceGrooves. How does your family support your hobby of collecting cars and tracks? Well, it's because I take care of my responsibilities, right? And now it is my business, right? I do the videos, I do track set reviews, car reviews, play sets, all this stuff. So I'm very lucky that I was able to implement my hobby into RaceGrooves, the business, right? And then that in turn helps support the hobby for other collectors as well. So how do they support it? Yeah, they support it. Sometimes they say, hey, stop talking about YouTube. No, they don't tell me. They just know I talk about YouTube all the time. Can't help it. It's what I do. Passion. Elijah Cochran asked RaceGrooves, when are you going to make videos for your gaming channel? Keep up the great work. You know, I had mentioned in this case unboxing video that the bone shaker's in there for Forza. And, you know, I downloaded Forza Horizon 3. I'm trying slipping around on the road. I need some practice. The problem is, like, even this weekend show, unfortunately, this weekend show is taking me 2 full days to make, okay? Things come up. I don't like how things are going. I'm frustrated. I can't get a groove onto making it flow just right. This weekend's a bad weekend. But that's only this show, 2 days. What about all the other stuff? And you say, well, all you do is case unbox. Just unbox the case. Well, there's shoot the case. There's video editing. There's a little bit of interaction afterwards. There's also, I got to put the stuff away. You know, so much time involved in making the videos. You only see the finished package. And then I get home, I want to go hang out with the family. I don't want to go play games, right? I'm tired. So unfortunately, what I want to do is have, I just can't get to it. I really want to do gaming and have fun. Can't get to the channel, sorry. That was a long-winded answer, huh? Sorry. Frederick Leba, RaceGrooves, how can I find the Hot Wheels Accelerators Teku cars? When I'm getting a lot of comments on my Accelerators collection lately. Probably every other day I get a comment on some video about the Accelerators. And what did I grew up on red lines, right? So in the 60s, so I love those red lines. Very cool cars, right? Well, maybe kids nowadays don't care about the red lines. I shouldn't say kids. In the 2000s, Accelerators was a huge movie for the kids. Just love that movie, right? Watch it over and over and over again, like kids do, right? Over and over and over again. In my day, Speed Racer, over and over. The original Speed Racer, right? Anyway, so, you know, what's my point is, I enjoyed red lines. Well, guess what? Kids, youngsters from the 2000s grew up on Accelerators. Now they're coming into their teens. They want Accelerators, so they're trying to find them. Where did I get them? I've been collecting since 1998, right? So I bought a lot of them in the stores. Just walked into Target, Kmart. They were sold all over the place. It was mass market. Some of them, now they came in batches and waves, right? So the first 2 waves pretty easy to find, but like wave 3, 4, and I think there was 5th wave. I think there was 5 waves. The last fourth and 5th wave, super hard to find. I was very lucky to have a friend who helped me complete the collection. And after that, I'm just going to have to buy the cars that I want off of eBay, right? That's how I had to get them. Another long answer. How did I get them? I walked into the store and bought them. And the ones I couldn't find eventually, have friends help me out finding them, or I just bought them off of eBay. I do believe that's the last question. Let me check. Click. Yep, that was the last one. Thanks for tuning in to the RaceGrooves Weekend Show. Remember, any links down below that I mentioned in the video. And if I mention a video during this video and don't put the link, just let me know. I forgot because it's a long video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Happy collecting. Have fun with your toys. Bye-bye.